Got a damn good show for you. Fantastic show for you. I'll give everyone a little bit of time to come on in here. Just a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time.
I checked all.
Hey, what's up? In the 26.
All right, let's get into this.
Are you hungry? Want me to make you a sandwich?
No, I didn't say anything about that. And actually, I'm taking the night off of my main channel, or the LOP channel. You really add the salt and pepper, sweetheart. Oh, wait, oh, the ice facility that got shot up? Yeah, I did hear about that. Oh, he ended up killing himself? Piece of shit. Wish the cops had had a chance to shoot his ass.
Perfect. Here you go. Are you hungry?
Alright, let's do the best ever
You can
breakfast
feel
fucking
worn out.
quesadilla.
Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery.
Dude, if your goddamn thing is taking this long to cook, you need to get it repaired. Yeah, except Iron Gullet, if it ever does come down to Civil War, Iron Gullet, your side's gonna lose and lose hard. And I'm sorry, while I'm fine with legal immigration, anyone that's here illegally can get the fuck out.
Wait.
Oh, no,
Wait.
don't give your dog eggs cooked in bacon grease! You can give your dog eggs, but they can't be cooked in bacon grease. Don't feed your dog anything with bacon in it. It gives them worms. And yes, this somehow even means if it's been cooked to fuck. Well, speaking of breakfast sandwiches, we now go back to the whore.
Cheesy. I was in the market for a new
Okay, well, how does this not violate YouTube's terms of service?
waffle maker when I found this.
Because of the whole no nudity thing.
Slash panini press slash grill thing. So let's test it out and make grilled cheese.
Oh shit, you fucked up. I heard a male's voice. I heard your simp ass, cuck ass boyfriend. Yeah, you're right. She ain't nude. But she's damn near topless. If that shirt get any more threadbare.
Cheesy.
And look, if YouTube changes its policy to allow nudity, I'd be all for that. Because originally, way back in the beginning, they actually used to allow, I think, actually full-on fuck videos on this platform. But that was long ago. Alright, here's chicken sliders. Alright, we got some olive oil. Chopped garlic, some red onion. Okay, cook for a minute. Alright, not the biggest fan of the bell peppers in there, but fine, fuck it. No, if she was dating me and she said I want to make OnlyFans content, I'd be like, well, you can do it if you like, but if you do it, you're going to be single after it. Yeah, I wouldn't stop her, but I'd just be like, well, if you do it, you're single. Again, I'd probably be like, why don't you just go on your cooking skill, not the fact that you look hot in very little clothing. Again, I'd be probably more on the side of, well, if you do this route, you're probably going to be single. You know, it blew my mind when, you know, Deep Fat Fried is fucking sitting there criticizing June or Shoe on Head for dressing too conservatively. And it's like, well, okay. Well, and of course, you fucking cocks would be just fine with your wives doing a OnlyFans where they have three-ways with each other. And don't get how that makes you all look like fucking cocks. Fuck you, Iron Gullet. Don't put Iron Gullet in a timeout. Do not put Iron Gullet in a timeout. If he goes into a timeout, I'll decide it. No, she gave a honest reaction. Believe it or not, it's possible for leftists to actually have human emotions. You dumb, stupid, fat ginger fuck. That's it. 24-hour timeout for you. You know, white women love to make everything about themselves. How the fuck did June make her video about herself? The only thing she did is exposing the fact that she has a crisis with identifying as the left. Because the left are basically, at this point, pure fucking evil. I should have actually let the Jews do that. Oh well. Alright, whatever. They look fine. I wouldn't have done it this way, but whatever. Oh, great. We got soft jazz. right, I'm done with this. I'm sorry, I can't keep up with the soft jazz. Probably the same thing with this next video. Oh god, it's even worse. Why would you add oil to a pan you're gonna butter? What black magic bullshit is this? I have absolutely no desire to play Baldur's Gate 3, so no. I didn't play Baldur's Gate 1, I didn't play Baldur's Gate 2, I don't give a shit about Baldur's Gate 3 because it's a crafting game and I fucking hate crafting games. As for playing it with you two, or you three, there is absolutely no chance in hell that I do that. Hello, Josh, the American Fox. Great, yeah, wonderful, fucking pepper and salt and shit. Alright, I don't care. You know what, fuck it, let's just skip ahead. You got a red Fresno pepper in there with some, looks like butter and garlic. It has some shrimp. You better hurry to add the shrimp in a hurry, bitch. Looks like some of them were already pre-cooked. Piss me off. I just have no desire to play Baldur's Gate 3. Excuse the fuck out of me. Will they get to the fucking point? Thank God. Yeah. Then we had the shrimp and we had all this other shit, and this crap is putting me to sleep. So now we go to the guy that I don't know if he deserves the controversy, doesn't deserve the controversy. I couldn't give a crap less about the controversy. Joshua Weissman,
Everyone always
and this
asks
is
us,
Joshua
"What's your secret
Weissman's
to success?"
recipe.
Roll up your sleeves. So your hands are going to do a lot of the work.
Now I have massive disagreements
absolutely
with
no
Mr.
issue, sir.
I have massive disagreements with Mr. Weissman. Particularly said, why'd you stop the cooking part in your main channel? Oh, you ran out of ideas. Really, you ran out of ideas? There's literally something like 25 billion recipes, if not more, right now in the world today, and you couldn't find your footing.
This is hands down the perfect burger. There's two burgers here, and they're both perfect in their own way. I've got the most ideal version of a smash burger, but then of course we also have the long and forgotten, something we haven't really appreciated in a while. Whatever happened to big, thick, juicy burgers? Both of these will be involved. You pick and choose, but I think these are the most perfect versions of each, so let's make them, shall we? We'll start this off by making a beautiful homemade dill pickle, followed by my classic burger sauce that's a little bit simplified but still insane. And then we'll have two different styles of burger for you, a Oklahoma style smash burger and the thick and juicy burger, both of which I think are the best versions of themselves. So let's start off with our pickles. Yeah, sure, you can go and buy them, and I use store-bought all the time. But the downside is there's sort of a store-bought aftertaste I've noticed. It kind of takes away from that really nice, deep dill flavor. So when you make your own, you really get a flavorful pickle. So I have 1 cup of white distilled vinegar and half a cup of water, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1.5 tablespoons of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of coriander seeds, and 1 teaspoon of black peppercorns.
First off, there is no way Jake is ever following my commands. Second off, if he did, that would lead itself into another bit of weird territory. Third off, I know where this is going. You just leave me high and dry to get slaughtered by something. Fourth, again, it's a crafting game. I don't like crafting games. Fifth, you should also all know I don't play games by myself. Or I play games by myself.
Bring it to a boil over medium-high heat. Then once it's hot, we're gonna pour it over our cucumbers. But first we gotta get those prepared. You're gonna want 5 pickling cucumbers on a mandolin. I prefer to slice them just because it's consistent. I slice them like, about a 1/4 of an inch thick, roughly. Cucumbers are gonna go into your jar. Make sure this jar is heat-proof because you're pouring boiling liquid in it. What happens when you pour boiling liquid into a glass container that's not heat-proof? It explodes. Just letting you know in case you have small children. Our liquid is boiling. Pour that directly over our cucumbers. Take 2 cloves of garlic. Just lightly bruise them, place those in. Nice few generous sprigs of dill and just press that in there. Now let that cool at room temp till room temperature, then you have pickles. Now for our sauce, 3/4 of a cup of a mayo, any mayo, homemade mayo, Duke's mayo, just a nice thick creamy mayo. Whatever you do, don't use some sort of flavored bullshit. Plain. You do a 1/3 cup of yellow mustard and then a 1/3 cup of ketchup. About 1 to 2 tablespoons of thinly sliced chives, 1 teaspoon of granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, just a little pinch of MSG, maybe 2, 2 cloves of garlic grated, and then salt and pepper to taste. Now whisk that together until thoroughly combined and homogeneous. That is our sauce. You can add other things to this. Oftentimes I find myself adding caramelized onion to it, which is kind of like an In-N-Out spread. The leverage of flavor for the effort, worth it, honestly. For the toppings, 1 yellow.
Okay, then how's this? I just don't want to play with them.
Yellow onion. Just gonna cut the top off, leave the bottom attached. I always tend to remove the first layer of onion. Some people like to just remove the skin. Personally, I think the first layer of onion is usually kind of swag. We need this onion cut so ridiculously thin, to be honest with you. You could do it with a knife. I would highly recommend you use a mandolin. This isn't just gonna be a topping to your burger, it is the signifying agent to creating an Oklahoma smash. Beautiful, thin, lacy, and I'll show you what we do with them after we get the rest of our toppings done. I have a nice, juicy, medium-sized heirloom tomato. I like to slit off the bottom, and then just cut that bad boy into around 1/4-inch thick slices. We are gonna be using a red onion. I want this cut into rings that are about 1/4-inch thick. I'm crying right now, by the way. These onions are real f***ing spicy.
If you want meat that's better for you and the planet, listen up, because at Wild Pastures, we are building something special. We work exclusively with American family farms using regenerative practices to bring you 100% grass-fed beef, pasture-raised pork, and chicken. With the mission to bring the highest quality meat at the lowest prices to your home.
We're doing 2 different burgers for you. Where have the juicy burgers gone? Where have the thick and juicy boys gone? They've been taken a hold by the Smash Burger. So we're gonna make the best of both versions, starting with Smash. You got 75 to 80% lean ground beef, 1 pound. I want 2-ounce balls. These are gonna be double patty smash patties. They're small patties, 2 ounces per patty, 4 ounces per burger. You got 4 servings. Thank you, Josh. You're such a mathematician. Oh, you know, no big deal, guys. You're gonna take all these and you're gonna roll them into balls. They don't have to be perfect because you're just literally gonna smash them down, but I would try to get them somewhat rotund. All right, I got my balls. The more awkwardly shaped they are, the more awkwardly shaped they'll be when you press them. So just think about that. That's kind of all your prep. All you need to do at this point is slice your buns in half and toast them in butter or toast them in a toaster or leave them raw if you don't want to toast them. Fine, I'm not gonna tell anybody. I mean, I'll be disappointed. Now let's make a burger. Now you can do this on any cooking surface. We're using a carbon steel griddle, which I would highly recommend on 2 different burners. Get that ripping around medium high, and then place 2 patties down on the cooking surface once it's hot. Add a generous mound of your thinly sliced onions. Smash until about 1/4-inch thick. Season and taste with salt and pepper on both of them. Then let them cook for about 1 to 2 minutes. Scrape underneath, flip, season again with salt and pepper to taste. Add a slice of American cheese on both patties. Sear for 30 more seconds, stack 1 patty on top of the other, and they're ready to assemble. So first, bottom bun, your sauce, followed by your pickles, followed by your double cheesy patty, and then quite simply a sauced topped bun. That is it. Now for the thick boy burger, you're gonna need 1.5 pounds of 75 to 80% lean ground beef. If you're on a diet, just shut up. That's it. I mean, this is not a diet burger. So these are gonna be about 6-ounce patties, roughly. You're gonna first roll them into loose balls, take a ball, and you're gonna smack it into your hand, pick it up.
So basically a little bit bigger than a 3rd-pound patty.
Rotate, smack it. You're gonna do that a few times. All you're doing is just compacting the meat just a
And your smash burger is burgers that are smaller than the ones I normally do a double patty with.
little bit without like totally smashing it.
All right, I have to pee. I'll be right back.
Right? You're gonna press it out. And think about the size of your buns when you're doing this. You want this slightly wider than your bun because it's going to contract and become small and tall. Okay, so I have a rough patty shape here, right? You're gonna take that patty.
No, wrong. You want to spread it out so it doesn't become this fucking hockey puck.
And just smack it. This is both flattening and compounding the meat together. If you're not sure if your patty is wide enough, go check it with your buns. Could be a little wider. Probably right about there is good. All right, stainless steel pan. You can also use a plancha or a flat top or any sort of whatever you want. Just don't use nonstick. Heat that over medium-high heat, just a touch of oil, right? Not a lot, just a touch, because this is gonna create its own oil anyway. Now once that pan is ripping hot, you're gonna take one of your patties, place it in. You're not really smashing it, but I do want you to press it out. If you don't press it out, it won't get a full contact sear. I want that full contact sear. Season generously with salt, touch of black pepper. Now let that sear for about 2 to 3 minutes. Want a magic trick?
Build a website you love with Wix. For your words,
Ooh, don't do that. Okay, so once this is ready, get your spatula underneath that bad boy and give it a little flip. Boom, dude, look at that Maillard reaction. You see what I'm saying? So you're gonna take a couple tablespoons of unsalted butter, let that melt in the pan, toss in a nice small handful of fresh thyme. Now push your burger away, tilt the pan towards you, and baste your burger and the thyme. Let it pick up those beautiful herbaceous flavors. Fatten that burger up, get it some nice brown butter flavor. No, it's just like a good quality steak. This is a steakhouse burger. So I want you to take this burger off, set it on a board, and let it rest. If you want, if you feel really naughty, you can always take a little spoonful of that butter, drizzle it over the top while it's resting, and let it cool. Let the proteins relax a little bit. Repeat with the rest of your patties. If you have enough space in your pan, do it in the whole pan. Bottom bun, a generous spread of mayo, a little drizzle of yellow mustard, followed by your pickles, your cheesy patty, your sliced red onion, tomato, which has been seasoned on both sides
Although that isn't terrible for height.
with salt, some crisp fresh lettuce, and crown your king. The question is, which one is better? Is it the thick burger that we've long and forgotten, or is it the smash burger? I mean, every time you have a good one, it hits everything. Fatty, rich, creamy, a little bit of sweetness, acidity to cut the richness. It's just like a perfectly balanced thing. The thick burger, on the other hand. I feel crazy saying this. 9 times out of 10, I would pick the smash burger. But today, after not having a thicker burger in the longest time, somehow this is actually a little bit more sustenance. It's a little bit more
Great, now I'm hungry for burger.
flavorful. This kind of becomes all one texture, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, smash burger's great. But the thick one is like giving me so many different layers of texture. I can actually really taste the beef at a much higher level than I can with the smash. So I think as long as you have great technique, you can make an amazing, amazing thicker burger that can fight and rival and possibly defeat the smash. But if you want something easier, that's just like quick and gonna be delicious almost no matter what, make the smash burger. The choice.
Sorry, I'm going with the thicker burger. All right, now we move on to juicy beer brats.
Savor the crunchy nooks and cranny splendor of a Thomas's English muffin.
Tom, which is a nook and which is a cranny?
That's a nook, cranny, 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 nook, cranny. I mean, they should be teaching you this in school. Huzzah! A toast to breakfast.
Hey, I'm Matt with Meat Church. Let's
There is no way a white bitch married an Asian dude. I'm sorry, the Asian dude's mother would have flipped her fucking gaskets.
make beer brats. Well, this is a delicious recipe that we're excited to bring to you this week when Micah Parsons and the Packers come to Dallas to play the Dallas Cowboys. I fed Micah a number of times. Obviously, amazing player. Just hope he stays out of the backfield this weekend. Well, this is a really delicious recipe. And I think that bratwurst, which I had for the first time ever at a Packers game in Green Bay years and years ago. I'll tell you that story a little bit later. This reminds me of other cuisines like cheesesteaks and buffalo wings and crawfish and chili, where people that are from the area where they originated are very passionate about how you should do it. And there are a couple ways to cook these bratwursts, which we're gonna show you. Do you grill and then submerge them in beer, or do you put them in beer, then you grill them? And as a professional cook that has done it both ways, I'm gonna show you my method and tell you why I do it the way I
Still doesn't excuse the fact that Miller Lite still tastes like shit.
do it. But like I always say, you know, Put your own spin on the recipe. No one gets to tell you the right or wrong way or what you think tastes good, so you can do it how you want to do it. But before we jump in, my buddy Woody and I, we cooked these bratwurst in this method probably 10 years ago to competition in a sausage category where people were making homemade sausage and the whole bit, and we went out and whipped them with store-bought bratwurst, cooked in beer, and then grilled. So I know it's a winner. In fact, it's officially a first place winner of a competition.
Because I would have kicked your ass with the smoked brat.
So let's jump into cooking. What we're gonna do is we are going to saute down a bunch of onions and caramelize them for about 15-20 minutes. And then we're going to put brats in the pan, submerge them in beer. We're gonna cook them until they are thoroughly cooked. So 165 or so, we're gonna pull them out, we're gonna grill them to crisp up the casings. So what we need to do first, we're gonna cook over a live fire. You can caramelize the onions in a pan.
I've done that technique. It's not bad. My personal favorite way, if I want to go out of my way to make the best brat possible, I put them in my smoker. And then I probe them to get them to when they're 165. So
on the stove, on a grill.
The reason I do that is generally the casings, when you smoke them, don't break. So all that wonderful fat is in there. Now, if you do smoke your brats, yes, you're getting the best product possible, but you're also getting the maximum amount of fat, and they are about as unhealthy as you can possibly imagine.
Whatever you want to do, we're going to do naturally over live fire. I'm going to light my yakitori, and we're going to saute these onions down. All right, we got our lump charcoal going. I'm going to drop my grate down. We're going to do this in the brand new Yeti Ranch pan. So I'm going to throw that on. Let that be heating up. Pretty excited about that. For those of you that don't know, Yeti bought the best American-made cast iron company in the world, Butter Pat. That's where all their skillets are from. And my son and I went down to Austin, and we were involved in kind of meetings and R&D around, hey, are you going to do a Dutch oven? So we're pretty stoked to be the first people to have this pan. It's going to work great for this. You could also do this in a really deep cast iron skillet, honestly, like any sort of vessel, because we're going to caramelize the onions, and then we're going to put...
I don't care what casing a brat has. It's either a sheepskin or a pigskin. And if you put it over direct fire raw, eventually that skin's going to fucking break.
The bratwurst in, so you just need something big enough.
And again, I still feel smoking brats is the best technique.
That you can put the bratwurst in to fill up with beer, so therefore I think this will work fantastic. And with a little bit of butter, you can...
Okay, you're right. I do apologize. Intestines. That's what they're made out of.
Use olive oil if you want. All right, butter's melting nicely. So I've mandolined a bunch of sweet onions. It's like probably, it's 3 medium.
They're not made of intestines. Yeah, I think they are.
And little, maybe on a little bit on the bigger side. And we're gonna caramelize these down, kind of to like however much you want. You know, we're not going an hour like French onion soup or anything, but cook these down for just a little bit. I gotta say, the people of Wisconsin and Green Bay are some of the nicest, most gracious people I've ever been around.
Yeah, fuck Green Bay. Fuck Wisconsin. And I say this not out of meanness, but the fact that I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. So, fuck the Packers, too.
Been up there a few times. Went this year with my 13-year-old son to the NFL draft. The Cowboys.
Sorry, smoked is the best way. If you wanna challenge me on it, make your own cooking video. But smoked brats are the best.
Sent us up there when we drafted our man Tyler Booker in the first round, and.
Yeah, I know. Fucking what Green Bay's got, I don't know. Yeah, I had to watch in horror as they won the Super Bowl. But fuck Green Bay and fuck the Packers.
We had bratwurst, we had cheese curds, but I don't know that there's nicer people in the world. You could be at the gas station and people are like, are you having the best time? So shout out to everybody in Green Bay that hosted Sam and I this year. But I think you're gonna like this. Talk a little bit about the differences in these recipes. I mentioned earlier, some people grill their brats first.
Try saying Green Bay is nice in Minnesota, buddy. You're not gonna like the outcome.
Then they submerge them. I want to submerge them first, get all that beer flavor in there, and then I want to grill at the end so we crisp up that casing and we get delicious flavor from the char at the end. It's kind of like, when you cook a steak, I want a steak with all that char, so that's the method we're going with. And no matter what you think, I can tell you this method
Now, I will say this. We are far more civilized Vikings and Packers fans. We may have our disagreements. But unlike European and South American soccer leagues, we don't actually have to be separated by a brick fucking wall.
delicious. All right, these onions have been
Yeah,
rocking
Green
and roll-
Bay may whip the Vikings' ass, and I may be disappointed about it. But I'm not going to fight some son of a bitch from Wisconsin for being happy his team won.
Going for 20 minutes.
The worst I do is demand he buy me a beer.
I'm not sure if there's a better smell in outdoor cooking than onions, caramelizing, and butter. But I'm going to get them spread out here. I'm going to put a little bit of beer in, and then we're going in with the bratwurst. Use your favorite beer. You guys know I'm a Miller guy.
Oh, you've got to be from the fucking South.
Ah, that's...
Oh, wait, he said he was from Texas. Budweiser, it's the king of beers!
Smells even better. So here I've got some bratwurst. I just got these at my local grocery store. So these are nothing fancy. I don't know how many are going to fit in here, but we're about to find out. First time I ever had a bratwurst in Green Bay. So years ago, me and my season ticket buddies from the Cowboys, this is my either 24th or 25th year of season tickets. That's
Wait, whoa. How do you not have bratwurst in Texas? Seriously!
And tailgating. Anyway, we wanted to see Brett Favre play before he was done in Green Bay, and we knew it was coming up. So we went up. There wasn't even a Cowboys game. There wasn't one on the schedule. And we went to Lambeau. Amazing. Stayed in Sheboygan. If you ever watch Home Alone, you know Sheboygan. That's where the polka band's from. But we went to the game. It was Monday night. They played their rival, the Vikings. People were so nice. I sat next to two nuns. Paid $20 at Brett Favre's Steakhouse. It was all-you-could-eat brats, screwdrivers to drink, or beer. Loved it, never forgot it, and this is definitely a staple of our tailgate ever since. So I'm going with the...
How do you not have bratwurst in Texas? That's fucking impossible.
complete submerge method. When I did these on Instagram a while back, I did the half submerge. My man Nate with the Dallas Cowboys from Wisconsin is like, hey bro, you gotta go full submerge. Who am I to argue? I will say Nate doesn't like the fact that I dip my cheese curds in ranch, but I'm a Texan. We put ranch on everything.
Yeah, dipping your cheese curd in ranch is a sin. I'm not even religious. I don't believe in God, but that's a sin.
All right, I'm going a little more than full submerge because I know some of this is going to evaporate over time. But so that was 3 beers in this pan, and this is very simple. You need to cook the bratwurst all the way through. So ground meat's 165. So they're going to sit here and braise, boil, whatever you want to call it, till they're at least 165. Some people, by the way, like to kind of marinate their brats in beer overnight. I didn't think it was necessary. Nothing wrong if you want to do it. Add a bunch of moisture. And some people like to cook these.
The marination won't mean a damn thing. They're encased in a fucking intestine, so unless you poke it with holes, which is again gonna let the fat leak out, the marination is not going to get to the meat.
Way longer than I'm hitting 165. I'm not gonna pull them at 165. We'll go further than that, but they'll probably be to that temp, and you know, depending on your pan, 20-30 minutes, but nothing wrong if you're a person that wants to cook them even longer. Then we're gonna move the pan over and we're gonna grill them and crisp them up.
You're telling me bratwursts are not made out of sheep or hog casings? Actually, I'm pretty sure it's hog casings.
All right, it's been about 45 minutes. Let me tell
Yeah, okay, you're right. No, fuck it. I don't care. I've marinated brats before and got nothing off of it. You guys act like I haven't been cooking for the last 20 years.
you how good that smells. Unreal. All right, I'm gonna move the whole pan over.
No, the beer doesn't actually penetrate the casing. The beer just leaves enough of an aftertaste when you go to basically burn off the beer on the few minutes it's over the direct fire. It still has a taste to it. A taste. If you were to eat these brats right out here, right out of this boiling beer bath, they'd be perfectly fine to eat, but they taste disgusting because of the boiled beer. But when you throw them on this grill and then you grill them and you singe and sear and brown and burn the casings, well, that flavor turns delicious. Do you understand the difference, my friends?
And we've got the fire ripping down here. Probably gonna raise this grate up just a little bit. So I wanna directly grill these now. Again, I said in the beginning, I want to crisp up the casing. I want the flavor from that. So you can use direct heat over lump charcoal like this. You could put it in, you know, pellet grill. You could do it in a pan. However you want to accomplish.
Oh, for Christ's sakes, those things are stiffer than Dean Withers' dick if a girl winks at him.
That, but these are gonna cook quick. And let me temp. So I know these are from experience. If you care about the temperature, when you cook them that long and it's boiling, it's gonna be over 200, which it is. And you see the casings didn't pop. Now these aren't gonna look real pretty yet, right? Obviously they've been cooking in beer. So just grill them to your liking. It's cooked all the way through. Put them on here. I'm gonna rotate them, move them. Like I said, these are gonna cook quick, so pay attention. Make sure you got plenty of cold beer nearby because you're not gonna have time to go get one. I always tell people when I'm grilling is, you know, it's visual. You got to use all your senses. So if something's getting a little more cooked than other, move it over, swap stuff around. Always switch, rotate, flip, whatever you got to do. And in this case, if you're running a mil-scale yakitori, I feel like I'm a little hot by that fire. I'm going to raise it up. Well, that's the fun of cooking with live fire. And if your fire's ripping like this, put yourself a little insulated glove on. Let me tell you something. This is definitely going in the tailgate playlist. You're cooking these out in the parking lot, everybody's stopping by. I'm gonna tell you, this is my favorite part of live fire cooking right here. Just rotating, like this is the fun in cooking. I want that beautiful color as much as I can get without busting the casing. Like I always tell people, there's a fine line between something being charred and something being...
The only thing I will say is, one thing we have the soccer world completely, we completely kicked their ass in is tailgating. And I'm shocked. Considering how serious these people take their stupid fucking soccer shit in South America and Europe. Why the fuck didn't y'all fucking think of tailgating? God damn! Maybe some of these American people, now that the NFL is down in goddamn, over in fucking Europe, maybe some of you motherfuckers might consider, you know, tailgating a little bit. I don't know. Okay, Raptor Blue, I'll tell you what, well, European food sucks anyway. American. I took the best from every fucking cuisine and made it my own. There's a reason why there's no English food over here in America, because their entire menu sucks. Alright, one last video before the war, and let's do some Coney dogs.
The chef. Oh? He brought home the bacon with the hundreds that he saved on car insurance with Geico. So he presents to you a bacon tart flambe with fig.
Now we're talking.
Yes, we are.
Get more savings in service. Get more with Geico.
Hello, this is... What is American food? Anything we fucking like. America is the last culture that has a blank canvas on food. We do whatever the fuck we want. You want yakitori chicken on top of a bratwurst? Fine, not a problem.
Chef John from foodwishes.com with Coney dogs. That's right, not only are these Coney Island hot dogs one of America's first and most famous fast foods, they're also one of the great culinary trick questions. And that's because the answer to the question, where are these the most popular, is not Coney Island. It's actually Detroit. Or as us KISS Army members refer to it, Rock.
No, we took what they did and made it better and discarded what sucks. Which is why there is no English dishes over here. Because their culinary repertoire sucks. Beans on toast sucks.
Rock City. But anyway, we'll discuss that in the blog post. For now, we're going to get started with the meat sauce. And when you're talking Coney dogs, it's all about the meat sauce. So we're going to take a saucepan.
Am I still going to cover the shoe video? Not tonight. Not tonight. Tonight I'm taking a break.
And start dumping things in it. Things like half an onion diced up. We're going to need some ground beef, of course. And I believe this is the 85-15 blend.
Okay, I take that back. 90-10.
Lean to fat. But pretty much anything on that leaner side's good.
But if I do cover it, it's not going to be from actual Jake. It's going to be from onion nuggets. Those fucking faggots over there.
Gonna work. And by the way, you can just dump yours in. You don't have to touch it like this. I'm not sure exactly why I do that. But anyway, we're going to dump in some beef. We're also going to need a little...
Well, Fiera's married too, so what's your fucking point? I'm just defending what I think is right, and I'm defending her from what I think is unfair, and I'm not even really defending her. I'm mostly going after the jackasses that want to claim she's wrong. So, yeah, you figure that out.
A little bit of minced garlic, and then a little bit of a surprise ingredient, some butter. Just a cold chunk like that. And then an array of spices starting with celery salt. And you thought that was just...
Except I'm not white knighting her. I agree with her position. Okay, if white knighting a chick is agreeing with her position, then I guess I'm a white knight. Yet you'll all call me a misogynist when I call AOC a dumb, stupid fucking cunt. Who would be better spent spreading her pussy on OnlyFans?
Just for your Bloody Marys. No, it's good in this too. We're also going to need a couple spoons of chili powder. I'm using ancho. We're also going to need some freshly ground black pepper and some salt and a little bit of ground cumin. And then we'll finish off the seasonings with a little bit of cayenne pepper.
So I can be a simp and a misogynist. That doesn't even make any fucking sense.
All a Coney dog is an all-beef hot dog.
You know what, Raptor Blue? You're going into a timeout just for being fucking stupid. I can be a simp, crawl on my hands and knees, kiss the feet of women, but also be a misogynist. Honestly, I should put you all in 24-hour timeouts. Because you're being fucking stupid.
Topped with what's basically a chili-like meat sauce. And at this point, especially if you've been watching this channel for a while, you're probably thinking, I bet he goes ahead and sautés all this and then adds some liquid. Well, actually, this time we're not. We're not going to brown this. Instead, we're going to dump in some water and then some kind of tomato product. I like ketchup. A lot of people use sauce or tomato paste. But I'm going to go ahead and use some ketchup. And then what's going to happen here, we're going to put this on medium-high heat and bring this up to a simmer while we mix it with a potato masher. And I know it looks and sounds bizarre, but we're going to do it anyway. And it's going to take a while for this stuff to get hot. And while you're waiting, you're just going to keep mixing and mashing. What we're trying to achieve here is a sauce that has as small particles of meat as possible. So this really is the most critical step. I mean, actually, it's really the only step. But it is, in fact, the most critical one. Because if you don't mix that meat into those wet ingredients while this comes up to temperature, you'll have big, chunky clumps. Or is it big, clumpy chunks? I can never remember.
No, you won't. You could cook the meat and then add all that crap in and then cook it again and blah, blah, blah.
But the point is you don't want those. So as this heats up, keep mixing, mashing, and eventually what you're going to have is a very smooth, albeit fairly disgusting looking, meat paste. But don't worry, that's what it's supposed to look like. And at that point, all we're going to do is lower the heat to medium-low and just let that simmer, stirring occasionally until it kind of reduces and thickens. And how far you go is really up to you. All right, some people like this mixture very thick, kind of dry. Others prefer it rather wet and sloppy. So it really depends on what you're into. And really, that's all there is to it. And at this point, I should mention our friends in Detroit suggest you do not skim any of that fat off the top. That's just butter and beef fat. Nothing that you don't want soaking into that hot dog bun later. So we're just going to simmer this for about an hour. And when I was done, that's what mine looked like. And then, of course, the actual and real last step would be to taste this for seasoning. And since this is a condiment for hot dogs after all, we want to make sure it's nicely seasoned, so make sure you got enough salt. I went ahead and added a little bit more. You also want to check for heat. It should be a little bit spicy. And then once we have our desired texture and our seasoning just right, we're ready to serve. And what makes a coney dog is the following combination. We're going to take one steamed bun, not grilled, not toasted, steamed, which really just means warmed in the oven. We're going to top that with a boiled hot dog, not grilled, just simply boiled in salty hot dog water. And then, of course, the star of the show.
I don't like that.
Oh, our Coney Island meat sauce. Look at that. It's so not beautiful, which is why the next two ingredients are so important. We're going to drizzle that generously with yellow mustard and also some diced raw onions. And not only do we add those two ingredients for...
Great, so it looks like a hot dog on fucking goddamn dehydrated dog shit.
Taste and texture, but I think you'll agree it really...
And look, I'm sure this tasted great, but this is not the way I would have done this.
It does improve the aesthetics here.
And with that, that's the show. 90% chance I'm not going to be on Lord of Patriarchy. 10% chance that I'm going to be. But